hunters are blue and dead, like they came straight out the cemetery. And I like red on the coupe, just like the heart I left way back in February. Haters gon' know what to do, they tryna read me, but I'm not the library. I don't just wanna be great, nigga, I wanna be legendary. All of my hunters are blue and dead, like they came straight out the cemetery. And I like red on the coupe, just like the heart I left.
Ladies and gentlemen, today on the show, we have the one, the only, the undeniable, and definitely underrated Pac Manson representing Fort Worth on the Raw Truth Show. I am Amelia, and I would like to introduce those of you who have not had the chance to meet, and for those of you who know, Raw Truth.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Raw Truth Podcast. It's an exciting day today. We get to actually interview somebody that I've known since I was like literally a kid. This dude, man, is definitely, in my opinion, legendary when it comes to battle rap for sure, but even music in general in the Metroplex, he's earned more flowers than he receives. And on the Raw Truth Show, if you're on the legendary interview segment, we don't do local artists. We do legendary interviews. And I feel like we are a good staple on determining what's legendary out here and what's not legendary out here. So definitely I'm looking forward to interviewing my boy Pac Manson. He has a hell of a fucking story. My bad, we just making sure everybody can get involved on this. So with that being said, we're going to jump right into the show. We're going to go through all of our regular segments, but like I said, I'm mad excited to make it to the legendary interview. Got my righteous homegirl Amelia behind the camera today on the ones and twos. And she will definitely be my conversationalist. So we will be going back and forth on a couple of segments. And I think we're going to start today off with the Raw Rumors.
Definitely Raw Rumors. I'm looking forward to that one. So for Raw Rumors, I don't know which one we want to necessarily start off with today.
We talked about Papoose and all that last week. I think this week I want to talk about, let's see, Tory Lanez. I want to talk about a little bit about Tory Lanez. Tory swears that he's getting out. I don't know if he's just doing this shit to keep interest generating him, but you know what's crazy, Amelia?
What?
Have you heard the songs he's been putting out from jail?
I haven't.
When I say this shit sounds like it was mixed and mastered in $1 million studio, it's unbelievable. Like he might as well be free. Like he's able to generate, and his songs are like, when I say, you've heard people like Twisted Black and stuff try to rap from jail. It sounds like they're through the phone. Nah, this dude's shit sounds amazing.
They do have recording studios in some prison facilities. I know that to be a fact. It's like a perk that's given for good behavior or to give them something to do. Shout out Rello. It's a homie like that in Detroit. But I know they have a studio there and he goes and he records. So the fact that Tory already knows how to do that, and then to have all that equipment there, it's not hard.
It's like he didn't miss a beat. He's locked up, but he's still releasing music.
And he gotta have somebody on the inside sharing it, because everybody else gotta do their shit through the phone when they get a call.
The thing that I love about it is that if you're gonna be locked up for 10 to 15 years for, your situation, which I'm sure he'll get it lowered eventually, but if you're gonna be locked up, to be able to sit in there and drop music, he's doing millions of streams still. He's not losing any fucking money.
And he still owns all his shit.
And he owns his masters, and he's not signed to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And he is, if you gotta go sit down and do jail time, that is the most fucking awesome way to do it.
That's crazy.
Shit,
That's
put me in
crazy.
there with a recording studio for a year or two with 3 meals in a cot, no worries. Boy, I'm about to put out some of the most fucking. Put me in there, three hots in a cot, and give me a recording studio, and I'm about to put out some of the most fire shit you've ever heard. But I also wanted to talk about, so Meg the Stallion actually filed a
A gag order?
nah, she filed a restraining order against this nigga to make this nigga not be able to talk to her in songs. Listen, bitch. First and foremost,
Language.
listen, bitch. First and foremost, I don't really think he shot her. You know,
It's been said that he didn't shoot her.
yeah, and her
Megan even
homegirl.
said she never said that he
Yeah,
shot her.
she keep going back and forth. I'm starting to wonder about her story. But even if we did, right? Let's keep it real, man. You had a bullet skate off of your toe. You didn't even lose a toe. You got a nigga 15 years for that. 15 years for that. Yo, he's in jail like you wanted. Now mind your own motherfucking business. If he wants to fucking talk
Clearly, they
and make
can't
music,
be where
quit
you
hating on him.
stand.
Like, leave it alone. You swear that you want to be done with this guy. No, bitch, you's a fan.
You trying to be done, but he keep bringing up your name. How do you not speak on someone that's always talking about you?
Because he telling his truth. She got to tell her truth in
Damn,
trial.
how many truths do we have? How many fucking
Hey,
songs do
but
we
here's
have?
the thing. Here's the thing. Filing a restraining order is peon shit.
I would have did a gag order. Not
I
necessarily
remember when she used to
restraining
talk
order.
all that gangster shit in her music, right?
Well, she can't do no gangster
But-
shit to somebody that's locked up.
But I'm just saying, she talked all that gangster shit, but you put the nigga in jail, you told.
What gangster
And
shit?
you told.
No,
And then after you told,
She did not snitch.
how she did snitch.
She didn't snitch. She never. Where do you have it on record of her saying that Tory Lane shot me?
In the trial, girl, did you watch that trial?
She didn't say that he shot her. She said she
Man,
know who shot her.
I need you, Amelia, to figure out how to go on YouTube on a separate window and
Well, we'll talk about it. For
yeah,
sure,
so we could talk about it because I'm telling you, she a chatty patty, man. She a chatty patty. She talk a lot.
Cause niggas was lying.
I'm just saying, listen, I don't have a problem with you if you ain't a street person. Somebody shot a bullet at your damn foot. You want to put them in jail? Okay, cool. You're a civilian supposedly, but don't talk no street shit no more on your records. First off, and then you made it really bad when you filed a restraining order. That's just, boy, that's above and beyond. Let that motherfucker talk what he wants. Why you ain't filing restraining orders on everybody else that talk about you? He ain't tagging you. He ain't talking to you.
But you know
He on his page talking his shit. Like, let him talk his shit. It don't matter what he says. He's convicted. He ain't going nowhere.
It don't matter to you what he says, but it can definitely have an effect on someone by having someone constantly trolling and talking about you. And then
Look at it from his point of view, though. Man, he losing 10, 15 years for a bullet skidding off a toe.
That he didn't even shoot.
So, how would you do if you was him? Boy,
What
you
can
better
he do?
talk. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be talking and shitting on her every chance I got.
But that's not fair to just do it to her when there was someone else that was involved too.
Did
But
you
I guess
see-
the other bitch ain't gonna play.
Did you see Tory Lanez took Drake's side in the beef with Kendrick, and Tory Lanez dropped some diss bars on Kendrick?
Hell no, but I definitely
Tory
gotta check
Lanez a
that
beast.
shit out.
Have you
I
listened to Tory
definitely
Lanez
do.
before?
I have.
He's a good fucking
I have.
artist.
I think that he's a phenomenal artist. I cannot take that away from him.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's so multifaceted and does all of that shit on his own and still have the level of success that he does.
And he's a singer too on top of that. Like, man, I always wish that I was able to harmonize like that. I got one or two songs where I think I nailed the harmony down. But that's hit and miss type shit right there.
I got you.
But yep, that's our rumor report for the day.
For shit show. Yes, indeed, Vernon.
And I think now we're gonna jump into our political shit. You know what I mean? We always got some political shit to talk. And we're definitely gonna jump into politics.
Oh man. So I don't know if you know who Amanda Seales is. Do you know who Amanda Seales is?
I do not.
Okay, Amanda Seales she was an actress and she also has a comedy tour and she is an activist for the people, not necessarily the government, on social media, particularly. I follow her on Instagram, and she's been following the war and everything that's going on over in Gaza and things like that.
What's your opinion on that first before we jump in there? Now you have Israel and Palestine. These two regions have been at war since before Christ, right? It's been a nonstop war since before Christ. You've had your ceasefires, you had your shit where people aren't getting murdered every day, but these are very much enemies of each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you something. Who do you think is the perpetrator and who do you think is the victim?
The question to ask yourself is, who are the real people of Israel, or the real Israelites?
I was just about to say the same thing, right? So anybody that knows anything about anything would know that your white Israel is bullshit. That is not Israelites. Those are colonizers. You know what I'm saying? The people of Palestine are the true Israelites. So basically, it's like, you've seen this a lot, throughout history. And let me before I jump in and anybody start feeling any type of way, you have had slavery of every color. Nimrod was black and put whites, blacks, and everything under the sun under worldwide slavery. He was the greatest enslaver of all. Then you have
The greatest enslaver.
bro, look up Nimrod. Nimrod was the greatest enslaver of people on the planet.
Oh wow.
And so there you go. There's a black man enslaving. Then you got Hitler. Hitler's an enslaver. Then you have your white colonialists. They're enslavers. Every single genre of people on this world have been enslaved at some point in time. There's nobody whose genealogy has not been enslaved. But you go back to the times of Moses, those are your Palestinians that they're talking about. Those are the people that were, truly enslaved and forced to build pyramids in Libya and Africa. And the thing is Palestine for the last 1,000 years has had nothing to fucking really fight for themselves other than fucking rocks. So I think it was pretty much a smart play by ISIS and all the rest of them that all link together and they say, hey, we are going to liberate these Palestinians. We can get the money, the guns, the bombs, and we're just going to hide in the midst of them. So when you say Palestine's a terroristic country, that's not true. The people of Palestine are fucking tortured people that are not throwing fucking rockets over the border. They're fucking terrified. And the thing is you got ISIS over there hiding amongst them, though. So it's really, you have ISIS and other terrorist regimes hiding amongst the Palestinian people so that they can, in a very cowardly way, wage war against Israel and then hide behind the Palestinians.
Okay.
So my opinion on that is Israel is really to blame for all that shit. Israel has been, before ISIS came to really stand up for whatever they want to call it, Palestine, when there was nobody sticking up for Palestine, Israel was desecrating them and decimating them. And I hate to say it, but Israel is getting what they deserve. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about individual victims of these attacks. I'm saying they are reaping what they sowed. And like I said, Israel did not even exist as a state until after World War II. And like I said, imagine, I'm Serbian, so I've seen this already happen. Serbia used to be one country. Then after World War II, your white colonialists come through, split it in half, and give one regime, the rebels that helped them, half of the country, and called it, why did I just draw a blank? What is, Stipe, Croatia. So you take Serbia. Now, this is not Serbians making this decision. This is white colonialists saying, here's your country. We're going to cut it in half. And the people that help us win this war, we're going to give them the best piece of the land, the creme de la creme, the nice side. And we're going to call them Croatia. And now Serbia, who's lost in the war, we're going to let them remain as the kingdom of Serbia, but with all the sorry shit. Now, if you're Serbia, you're not going to accept that shit. You're not going to look at Croatia as a recognized country because they're not. That's something that you would have to have your own civil war to determine. Like I said, with Israel, that's just a piece of land that was grabbed, taken, and given to white Jews. And that land should have went to the Palestinian people who had already been there for thousands of years, in my opinion. But didn't mean to jump over you.
That's okay. Well, this isn't gonna make me look at it.
This ain't gonna make it
It's
anywhere.
not. The Israelite forces are actually, it is said through multiple sources that they are poisoning the people of Gaza. They were on an excursion and they dropped, and I'm throwing up air quotes for those who can't see me, like a box of food, and the food was poisoned. They just now started
conventions as well. You see how Israel could do what they
think
want?
they give a shit?
The thing with the Geneva Convention,
They won't even touch
those are rules of war that you could be. That's why Saddam Hussein was eventually executed later on. I love how America backs up Israel no matter what the fuck they do. That's why you have Israel sitting there with nothing but enemies with their teeth salivating at the thought of wiping them out because they are evil as fuck. The white Jewish people are the epitome of what's wrong with this earth. You know what I mean? Like, they're fucking thieves. And like I said, this type of shit to get the show canceled right here. So I ain't gonna go too deep into it, but they're definitely fraud ass motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And it does not surprise me to hear that they're poisoning, because the thing is they already ran and they already ran the Palestinian people. They already crossed over the border where they were throwing shit at them and pushed them damn near to the embankment of the ocean. You know what I'm saying? These people don't got nowhere to go. You're pushing them into the fucking ocean. You're not allowing Aiden to help. You're not letting the first, what do you call it? The Red Cross. You're not letting nobody in. So it doesn't surprise me that you would take their food supply too.
Well, they act like it was, rations coming in. They started the import of chickens to come back in, but the price of those skyrocketed. So it's difficult for, the Gaza people to actually afford it. And those who did actually ended up ingesting it. And you have people dying from food poisoning from eating the chickens. So that definitely doesn't sit very well with me at all by far. But it's just, I don't know. I just feel like we're definitely watching the embos as they are unfolding. Like you hear them say it all the time. I used to say that shit when I was younger. And now,
but it's true. All
years
this
past.
shit's told in Revelations. You know what I mean? It's all told. Just like we'll see who Israel really is in the end times, because you'll see the entire world go against Israel. But I don't think it's talking about the white Israelites. I think eventually the Palestinians are going to win this war. They're going to take their land back, and then they will be the true Israelites. Then you will see the rest of the world encircle them and try to engulf them. And that's where you're going to see, I think it talks about the land around Israel open up and swallow up like 200 million soldiers that are marching towards him. So Revelations, y'all, if you ain't read it, it's a cool book to read. And definitely, I believe that we're also in the end days. So, yeah.
It's the book of Revelations.
Chapter 7, verses 16 and 17. Yes, sir. They shall hunger no more, neither shall they thirst anymore. Preach up.
All I was going to say is if you can't find it at Barnes and Nobles or on Amazon, you can just look in any Bible that you may have in your home or in your grandmother's home, and then you can read it there. So
read it while you got it, man, because there's going to be a time, man, when there's a one world government, a one world religion, and a one world currency. And when that happens, the one world religion is not going to be Christianity. So you will not be able to get your hands on that
What
book.
do you think that the religion is going to be?
I think it's going to be like selfism. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, shit, we got that now.
It's going to, or the worship of the universe over God, or whatever it takes. You know what I mean? You got to remember the beast and the false prophet will be moving around in those times. So if you ever watched Left Behind, the beast was named Nikolai Carpathia, so they ended up calling it Carpathiaism. You know what I mean? Scientology could be. I think Trump's too much of a wild card to be the Antichrist, and he's the only politician you've heard in the last 10 years utter the name Jesus Christ is Lord. I don't think it's gonna be Trump.
I think he just said it. I don't know if he really believes that shit. Not with his whole heart. Not with his whole heart.
He confessed it, and you ain't. That's more than you could say for Joe Biden or Mr. Hussein Obama. You know what I mean?
I'm not. You think you ate? I'm gonna let you have it. You think you ate? You think you ate? And I'm gonna let you have it, but I'm gonna leave that shit right there on the table where it's at. We're gonna pick up them leftovers next week because there's a small part of me that you got fucked up. But
we're gonna really get into it because I know we want your chance to bash Trump, and
it's not about.
I want my chance to defend him.
Why? Why do you always defend this man?
God, because he's like me.
He might
in the
not be a
sense
good
of,
human, but he's a good president.
That's what I feel like. I feel like he's a
come from.
Because
What
they
makes
know
him a
what-
great president?
Because ain't no other president in the history of the United States has ever made another country that was dictatorship led like fucking North Korea bow down. Ain't nobody. He's the only one that's gone over there and met with Kim Jong-un. He's the only one that didn't have nobody invading.
And he be
Serbia
telling them
and all
too,
that.
and he be telling them too, a million.
Ukraine, they
Fuck
wasn't
you
going
do
to
it,
war
bitch.
because
I
he
dare
told
you.
them. He told them, go ahead, I got them.
Do
I
it,
got
bitch.
bombs. I got bombs. I'm gonna all of us.
And they get
bow down.
scared.
Respect
And
this
for
shit.
that
You
reason,
have
that's
to
what makes
respect us
him.
as a world power. You do not respect
You have to
us as
respect him as a world power.
Don't you want
The
people to
biggest fucking thieves of all.
They are.
But you live here, right?
Respect
You
it.
I
live
do.
here, right?
We
And
have
you raise your
freedoms that
children
no
here,
other
right?
country has.
Unfortunately,
So
yes.
you gotta give a fuck about yourself first. It don't matter if we're
How-
everybody's.
What does that have to do with giving a fuck about myself first?
Because if we're a weak ass country, anybody can just come in here and wipe us the fuck out.
They've been doing that, and we don't need another country to wipe us out.
What I'm saying is, no foreign power is gonna think about fucking doing no dumb shit over here without
Because
repercussions.
he's not politically.
There's a
Every other
dumbass
politician is
somewhere that's
tied
just waiting
into-
for the opportunity.
We
I
gonna
will
get
say
into
that.
it next week. I want you to pull up. I want you to make your argument against Trump, and I'm gonna fucking go.
But I don't exactly how
Like it's an argument
Have
against
you
Trump. He
publicly
just said that
asked
he's
him?
the greatest president ever.
I don't think he's the greatest president ever. I
He
think
said
he's
what?
a good president.
He's not a good
Because
president.
he's not politically controlled. He's a businessman.
Who's not politically
Donald
controlled?
Trump, he's a businessman.
I don't
Those
think he
those
is.
political higher powers can't control him. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, they
Think
don't
about
control
it. Look at
He
how
has his
many
own money.
people
That's why he
try to
does what he
stop
wants.
him. Think
That's
about
why
how
he
many
does
people
whatever
try to
the hell
stop
he
him.
wants.
His own
They've literally
party
tried
was
to
trying to
assassinate
stop
him
him.
3 times, and he
He
still wasn't the
fucking
president.
assassin, bro. Nobody else has had to deal with this level of bullshit as Trump has had to deal with. And listen, a motherfucker that gets back up after getting his fucking ear fucking smashed off, and
He didn't get
and-
shot in the fucking ear.
What? So
It's
okay.
a publicity stunt.
Nah.
That 17-year-old kid lost his life. That ain't publicity shit.
Man,
You
you
don't-
have
you
martyrs
don't get-
all the time for some agenda that they want to push.
I mean, but that's not a publicity stunt. Who
Hell
cares?
yeah,
It
it
is
sounds like
publicity
you're.
stunt.
It sounds
You
like
think
you're
that kid
diving
lose
into
his life?
conspiracy theories
I'm
now.
not- Okay, you can call it a conspiracy theory.
I
Even
love
the shooting-
conspiracy
but-
theories.
Even the
But-
shooting that you had in Dallas,
I
even
will
the shooting
say,
that
the
you had in
majority of
Grand
stuff that we
Prairie.
believe to be conspiracy theories has been later proven true. Like
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying, he been shot in the ear. Do you have you ever been shot?
Yeah,
Shit, have you ever
I don't
been
know if he
shot?
was shot in the
Do
ear or
you know
not.
somebody? Do you
Still
have a
have
fucking mark?
right here.
Okay, do you still have the mark from being shot?
Right
Tell me
there.
where the fuck the mark is on his ear from him being shot.
He got
It
this
is.
surgically repaired.
It healed.
No, you just
You
get
said what?
repaired.
He didn't get his ear blown
Your
off.
fucking cartilage?
It
Yeah.
grazed
You
him.
get that surgically
It
repaired.
grazed him. Have you looked
It
at a
didn't
close up
hit
of
me.
his ear lately? That's what I thought. I'm not saying
There's
you
no
don't got
way in the
nothing to
fuck
go
that you
on.
can tell me that you got shot and 5 days
Listen,
later you
I'm
have
all-
nothing on it and there's no scar, there's no scab, there's no
Amelia,
nothing.
I'm all for conspiracy theories
I'm just
first
saying.
and foremost. I'm all for conspiracy
All
theories.
I'm saying is I don't
So
believe the bitch
I'm
really
willing
got
to
shot.
consider it all day long. We don't get help. We don't get help. Get fucking help. And my wife is a Trump supporter too, just not on camera.
No, she brought up a real good fucking point.
Come on.
Just talking this shit about Meg Thee Stallion, right?
Yeah.
about getting shot, right?
Grazed.
Oh, she got grazed.
She did get grazed.
He got grazed.
And you talking about her sitting up crying about getting grazed, or she's mad because someone said something about
But
her
there's a
getting
difference
grazed.
between Meg Thee Stallion. Trump just gets niggas whacked.
Yes,
The
I'm
nigga
saying-
that shot her, he's no longer.
I'm just saying the FBI has confirmed that his ear is shut. I don't think they can publicly make
And the
statements.
FBI don't even like him.
The FBI don't
No.
like him at all.
They hate him.
They're
I can't do it.
investigating him.
I'm not on board with that shit. I cannot see this man's ear healing that fast. Shit.
So let me ask you this. What would it take for you to believe that actually happened?
To see his fucking ear being fucked up. Maybe to talk to the bitch that shot him.
Whatever
Who
it
got a
takes, I
Ouija board?
guess.
Because he gonna tell the truth. I mean, what the fuck
At
he
the
got
end
to
of
leave
the
dirty
day,
about his life?
At the end of the day, all we're gonna have is opinions and shit. You know what I mean? Like
I'm just saying, common sense isn't so common anymore. If you
I'm
still
just saying, it's like Biden better than Trump.
I never said that. I never. fucking
Who's
said
worse? Who's a worse president, Trump or Biden?
Joe Biden's there, right?
that. Can't say.
How can you not
The
say?
economy is terrible.
Like this, can't say.
But how can you not say?
Because they both have their faults. It's just that I don't see how someone who is so.
Hold on, let me show you some of these faults that we're talking about. here.
No, we're
No,
not.
but-
We're gonna move
but-
right
but-
into.
No.
Listen,
I'm gonna show you.
I'm telling you, we
This
coming
motherfucker
back.
don't even know where he's
We
at on
coming
this
back
stage.
to this shit. Oh, he definitely has dementia.
Go,
I'll give you that. And his ass is
He's got retarded shit.
But he's doing what he is told to do because we all know that when you are in political office, that you're not making the decisions
Yeah,
that
you're
they
not.
think that you're
You're just a
making.
puppet.
And the same thing, it
Otherwise,
does
it wouldn't
happen
be
when it
a
comes to
puppet.
Trump. Y'all talking about, oh, he's not
Let me
letting
find
them
out you want to
the
come
fuck they
out
are.
when
Excuse me?
Where Trump hate comes from. Let me find out.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. It doesn't matter who the fuck I vote for, they're still gonna do what they want to do.
But that's with all politicians.
But we're not discussing
Wouldn't
all
you rather
politicians.
have a
We're
politician
discussing.
that wants to make the world scared of us? Seriously, your kids live.
So-
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Your children live here. Your children are growing here, right? I get what you're saying. We're a whole ass country. I agree. But
Bitch
somebody's
ass.
got to be at the top of the fucking food chain. Might as well be us, right? We live here.
You honestly believe that it's us at the top of the food chain?
Yeah.
When it comes to, I guess,
We're
being
still at the
feared.
top of the food chain.
When it comes to being feared. You want someone to be scared of us.
Once Trump takes that office again, they're gonna be pussy again.
They are.
Think about it.
They always
He was the only
China
president that no
has-
terrorist shit happened on his watch.
Look,
It
China
happened
came
on
out.
Obama's. It happened on Biden's. On both Obama's watch, I can tell you the Paris explosion shit happened on his shit.
China.
The motherfucker that bombed the church happened on Obama's shit. The motherfuckers that bombed the church happened on Biden's watch. Which country has fucking taken a strike at us or made a terrorist move against us under Trump's watch? You could probably say the one that happened the other day, the New Orleans shit, but that's also still on Biden's watch. It's not
Well,
Trump's
look,
watch yet.
Look, the thing is though, as soon as he won the presidency,
I just want to see
you already
America
had
make
foreign
great
China,
moves
who
on.
is supposedly our biggest actual threat by sheer mass volume and technology, came right out the gate and said, "Hey man, we don't want nothing, man. We want peace in the next 4 years."
I mean, that was the
United
first
States
thing
of
China
America.
said. They're
They
talking all
literally
that shit
started
before
waving
Trump
that white
won.
flag as soon because they know
They want to do business,
They
bro.
know we
Because-
want to do business. He's a businessman. We don't want to go to war. This is the only country that has military bases on every land continent in America. Ain't no other country got that.
Think about that, Amelia. What other country do you think? You see any Afghanistan embassies on our land? You see any Chinese embassies on our land? None of that shit. We don't allow for that. We go places and say, this is American.
It's our American base now. We here now regularly.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying I'm
Somebody got to be the tipping point.
grateful that I live in a
Said
country
terrorist attacks underneath his
But we
presidency.
have
out on American soil.
Bullshit. You need to fact check that before you
You
say that.
come on, go ahead. No, we don't have time. But
Okay.
if you want to, I don't want
No,
to
no,
make
no,
it
no,
look like I'm running from
This
you.
right here is gonna be this. I'm telling you, we'll pick this shit back up.
Oh no, we gonna go. Me and you are gonna have a head to head next
Let's-
week. We're gonna sit you on the couch.
I'm gonna make sure I wear my
Oh,
good hair.
shit.
I got
We're
you.
gonna
I'll
sit
run
you
it
on the
over there.
couch. Yeah, we're gonna sit you on the couch and we're gonna have a back and forth. I want you to give me 10 reasons why
Damn, 10.
Trump's the
All right.
worst or whatever you think. I'm gonna give you 10 reasons
You want
why.
me to give you 10 reasons.
10
All right, and explain my reasoning, correct?
right, and
All
I'm
right.
gonna do the same.
Cool.
Check out.
You
All
mean
right,
for why
since
you
we-
feel like he's a good president or a fit to be president?
It's fucking
I have the
awesome.
cons and you have the
It's
pros.
fucking awesome.
I have the cons and you have the
I have
pros.
the pros.
Okay, well he's a con, so we good.
I love
All
it.
right.
I love the fact that
So-
he's a convicted felon too, because I'm like, man, bro, maybe that means I could be president.
But how fair is it that you have a convicted? Stop laughing! Don't laugh at his shit.
That needed to happen.
That needs to come out.
What courts do that
You know how
open
many
for
millions of
convicted
people
felons?
come out,
Background home check, every
Look,
job
you-
call, all that
look,
needs
you
to
know
come
how
out.
And let me find out this motherfucker voted for himself in the goddamn election.
He
He
probably
needs to
did.
get, but
You
he
know how many
shouldn't.
millions of people are coming out that are trying every fucking thing to do anything to become something,
Yeah.
and they're cock blocked on every goddamn turn they
And do
make.
you think that's going to change?
I think Trump has a responsibility. Like, they already hate you anyway.
I think Trump has a
So,
responsibility.
hell yeah,
Finish the statement.
Listen, those people on like the shade room, they have a point, right? People that hate Trump, they have a great point. Well, shit, since Trump was fucking convicted felon, anybody should be able. You're right. Anybody should be able to. Nobody should have to just sit there and fucking suffer after they get a sentence, do the sentence, and come home, and now they have to keep suffering.
I'm with you on that. I did my
You
time.
should
I said that
have
should
your
be it.
motherfucking background. I don't think white
Expunged?
clean.
Not white.
I think people need to be able to access your background if you have a history of bullshit.
It depends on what it
If you
is.
look, for example, if you're working for a daycare, you shouldn't be a sex offender.
Period.
If you're working
Yeah.
for a bank, you shouldn't be what do you call it? A frauder. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. There's no reason if I had an aggravated robbery on my thing from 25 fucking years ago, there's no fucking reason I should not be able to fucking run Lockheed Martin. There's not no reason I shouldn't be able to run this, run that. Like, for what? Like, if you don't start treating, people be wondering why people talk all this shit about all this crime and shit that be happening.
Mhm.
Motherfuckers get tired of sitting there giving their maximum effort
And
to
getting
get
nothing.
shit in a bowl pushed back at them with no hope of being anything in the future but a motherfucker that just barely surviving. So once they fucking pull that gun out and say enough's enough, somebody got to goddamn pay. Somebody should.
I got you.
And that's these politicians' responsibility to say, hey, 1 in every 3 of Americans at this point is a convicted felon. When are we gonna stop this fucking witch hunt? You give a motherfucker a sentence, you say, you receive 5 years for robbery. The moment that 5 years up, your debt to society is fucking paid. You should not have to fucking incur no bullshit. You come out, you apply for a job, they shouldn't even be looking at your fucking background in case you're in a sensitive area. Child care, elderly care. Like, for example, if you have assault on elderly, you should not be working in a fucking hospital with hospice
We should
patients.
just have assault period.
I think that's a gray area. You have to look at that. You know, like, I've always said, look, make us suffer a little bit. I like the idea of 7 to 10 years and it all goes away. 7 to 10 years with no new crimes and your background's forgiven. I
Okay.
think that's a long enough period to prove it's going to show how dedicated you are to not going back, how dedicated you are out of making a fucking dollar out of 2 pennies and a nickel.
Mhm.
It's going to show that you're not going to be easily swayed back into giving up. So if you go for 7 to 10 years of busting your motherfucking ass, every door in the world should be open to you after that point. You should be able to go work for the federal fucking government if you want to. Why? Because Trump's president. That's why.
That's right. But now,
Come on. Come on with with my wife's opinions via Amelia. So we can get to the next segment.
Spit, no, no.
Spit.
democratic opinions.
Come on, man. Come sit down. No. You look great today, so you ain't got no. Come on.
Cameo. Yeah, that's the best cameo.
Come have a seat.
Oh man.
I want to introduce everyone to my beautiful, lovely wife. Rashonda Colbert is in the building,
Oh man.
and she's sitting down with us today. Hello, baby. How are you? So, what did you have that you wanted to say, honey?
Said, well, then what would it be like? Okay, like if you tell a guy, guess what? After 5 dates, you can have sex. So then what if they just live for 2 years? And then after that, they would do the crime.
Don't you feel like that's a risk we have to take in promoting forgiveness to people?
If somebody's like this,
But you know, most crimes are committed by non-felons anyways. Most murders, most rapes are
no, they just didn't get
usually.
caught.
But what I'm saying is, so do you think that somebody, look, it's no
That's
secret.
crazy.
this guy here has a great criminal record. So
You proud of that shit?
not
You work hard
everybody
for
gonna
it?
have the dedication and the motherfucking like. The only reason I'm sitting here right now is honestly because I was so mad at the world for shit I put myself through that I was like, I will not let nobody look at me live under a fucking bridge. I won't fucking do it. And I work hard every fucking day to make sure that that will never be the case, that my family will never. I'm not gonna be just a nigga that's happy working at Taco Bell because I have a fucking felony. Like, fuck that felony. There's, huh? Yeah, free food.
The silver lining.
It's like, I know that I deserve more. So what about the people like me? Now, I got out of prison fully with no conditions, September 12th, my wife's birthday, 2007, right? It is now, I have not been back to prison. So 7 to 17 is 10, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24. What's that? 17 years?
Mhm.
17 years I have not went back to prison. So what about the people like me? How much longer do we have to prove that we're not a threat to society before we can have the same opportunities that a motherfucker without a record has?
I agree with your point. I just want to ask the question.
I love it. I love it. I mean, those questions got to be asked to get to conclusions, you know? But I honestly, you know, it's close to my heart, obviously, but it's true though. Like the Trump haters really have a great point right now. You know, if a fucking felon can be president, they should be banning the box on applications. I don't agree with that. I think you should ban the box where it applies at. Like I said, if it's a fucking nursery, a
So it
sex
should be on a
offender
case by
shouldn't be
case
working
basis?
there. If it's a place that's like, you know, where it involves a lot of trust. Like, let's say you got a whole bunch of women that can't take care of themselves. Well, then a rapist shouldn't be working there. But that rapist should be able to work for General Motors. Like, because what are you gonna do with that rapist? Now that he served his time, he's out. What are you gonna do with him to keep him from reoffending? If you sit there and keep him in the
If you
lowest
give
level of
access to other
shit,
people, then what's to say people are going to go into the restroom? Well, somebody's going in the restroom or whatever, pin them in the restroom. And
It's
And
true.
what could that trigger
But-
you
Your
to cause
kid,
them?
But
that
at
could
the
be-
same
that could
time,
be your
what if-
mom,
what if-
your sister, whoever it may be, it can be any kind of female.
so what do you do with them?
That's a good question. That's some research.
I
But-
said castrate them. They
Yeah.
can go and do whatever else.
Boy, that castrating option, you know they do that in Louisiana now.
Mm.
They'll castrate your ass if you do some shit. That should be enough for any man that cannot get that pussy to not take that pussy. You know what I mean?
It's somebody can
'Cause
get
they
it for
will-
free somewhere.
They will
You can
take
get
your
it for free.
balls. They're gonna take your balls away.
I don't know. I think it's the thrill, and then the
Yeah,
adrenaline
so I
rush
don't
of
know
hurting
if have
someone.
you watched Yellowstone? Okay, so on Yellowstone, one of the episodes, somebody busted in and was kind of like trying to vandalize the property, and Beth wanted one of the dudes was trying to rape Beth, and so she
That's ugly as hell too. Let's talk about that as well.
I'm
like,
not. So she went into the mindset, oh, you want me to cry, you want me to do this or whatever, and it totally turned him off, and he didn't do it. So it is a thrill for some people.
I mean, we could play Fruit Ninja. Try to see if you want to.
man, listen, the kid. I know that these niggas in Louisiana better not play though. Boy, hey,
I love
they
nuts.
will cut your nuts off legally now.
You worried about the nuts?
The only thing I don't like about that is how many people have been released 20 years later that have been proven by DNA evidence to never created a crime. What you gonna do? Give them their balls back?
But do you know that even the DNA evidence they make
Stupid.
it and then they manipulated it. Yeah, manipulated to use to convict somebody. Like sometimes it's not always that it was done that way. Some people just put it anywhere.
That's why I feel like you got to be really careful when,
When
you
you
start
say that like
when you
that,
start
it
going
makes
into
you
like
think-
corporal punishments like that.
They can give you your balls back. You just can't put them back on.
Yeah, then when they come off,
They have them in the mason jars.
There's
There you go.
there's a unique system of things that go on down there. You know what I'm saying?
So
They operating how it works.
And be careful.
Well,
'cause
go
the
ahead and
food there
stay
may
on the
not be
couch,
food
honey
there.
bunch. And yeah, come on. Let's jump right on into. I need somebody to read the proper grammar this week.
No, Amelia's voice
Oh,
sounds so much.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. You should. I don't like
Amelia don't got a
triple
mic though,
I
and I
don't like
got one
triple
right
six.
here.
I don't
We
like
can
triple
share
six.
it.
Come sit right over here.
Not today, babe.
So,
You're already right there. You're already right there. I don't know why you're doing this. That's okay. Just know he wasn't hiding you from the world.
well, I appreciate it, babe, and I really think you should come on camera more because you're actually a great addition. I like talking with you. Y'all get ready though. Opposites Attract podcast gonna be the hottest motherfucking shit smoking. It already was. Yo, I don't know if I told you guys. If you don't have the Opposites Attract podcast, go to Facebook, type in Opposites Attract, follow us. I've never seen some shit blow up so fast. Like we did like 3 or 4 little fucking snippets, and to this day, every single day, my wife can tell you, we get 5, 10 followers every single day, and we ain't put out nothing. So people must really like that. I think that they will like it a lot more seeing us on this couch talking about the tough shit. And you're not gonna see another podcast where we talk where people, 2 married couple will talk about extremely tough shit like we're gonna go through. So
Well, I'll see us on the 23rd on the way to the food.
damn, baby, you look good as fuck, man. Okay, let's take it.
Yeah.
What? That's why we get so many haters, man. I'll say this: if you don't know, this is the most hated couple for no goddamn reason. I'm talking about we done had some bum ass baby daddies. We done had some whole ass baby mamas. They trying to hate.
Great, man.
They hate this shit. Boy, they hate seeing the diamonds flossing. They hate seeing the gold on the hold on, baby. Show them your ring. Look, well, they hate seeing shit
man,
shining.
the world's so fueled by drama, they hate happy.
Bro, they hate
It's
happiness,
okay 'cause
bro.
it ain't gonna stop.
Do anything to make us unhappy, bro. But yeah,
Check
Opposites
out
Check podcast, and we're gonna move on to the Raw MMA from there. Thank you, baby.
She about to put you in a triangle chokehold for MMA. So.
Oh,
Put it back
bro, we
in the
got to
shirt.
go. We're on it right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, baby. All right.
Thank you.
Oh, hold on. See the handshake.
Oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
It ain't no secret if you should say
Oh,
it.
hold on. Oh. Bam. All right, so
Oh, hold up, man.
now we want to go into we want to play the video intro for the favorite part, one of my favorite parts of the show, the Raw MMA, and we'll be bringing on Pat Manson to talk shit with us. Is he good to
He is more than welcome to move.
Hello, it's me you're looking for.
It is not.
MMA.
Yeah, I know.
Play it already?
It's not. I don't know.
Remember, you said you got to fade it.
I'm gonna do some push-ups off.
It's pain right here.
I think you see you got to do it all the way to one side of it. Well,
It's not the morning before.
we got to figure that part out for
That's
sure.
fine.
All right, so we didn't get to play the cool little video intro that I really wanted to play, but
What's up?
we're moving on to the Raw MMA, and we got legendary Pat Manson in the building with us, who will be interviewing shortly. We're gonna run through this fairly quickly, but man, you know, I would love to actually get you in on this as much as possible, bro, to really make you I would love a co-host for this segment. I would like to turn this into,
Joe,
bro, I would love,
and Joe Rogan.
I swear, I would love to turn this into a 20-minute segment, honestly, bro. Like, this is, all right, so look, here we go. I touched on this a little bit last week, didn't get to go into it, you know, as much as I wanted to. What do you think about Usyk and Fury's second match? What did you think about that?
I mean, I thought it was a good fight. I felt the first fight was very close. I could see the edge, maybe the Usyk. I was going for Tyson. The second fight, I mean, I think people think Tyson Fury's crazy, but I don't think he's crazy. I could definitely have seen him winning that fight. To me, it could have gone either way. I felt like more towards the end, Usyk had a little bit more pop in him, so to speak. You know, I felt like he was getting off a little bit better shots, a little bit cleaner shots, and Whereas I thought Fury needed to pick it up a little bit. I felt like he did have a little bit of a lead if you use it close it. So
I was really shocked that no judges gave Fury the last round in the last 6 rounds.
I didn't agree with that at all.
I said, man, it's the last couple rounds, bro.
They were
he
close.
had some moments.
They were close,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Every time one fighter landed something, the other one was able to up the ante and get their lick back, so to speak. So I really could have seen that going either way. People think Tyson's like acting like he's crazy because he thought he was up 3 rounds, but if you look at a lot like people like Anthony Joshua, who were fighters that were sitting there store side ringside, had the same result.
So is Usyk now the greatest? I mean, he has all the belts.
Definitely got.
He's
He's
the
cruiserweight undisputed. He's heavyweight undisputed.
he's a cruiserweight right now.
Well, not anymore, but he
I was
was.
gonna say
He
if
was.
he's holding
They
both
did all
of
the
them
belts that came up.
simultaneously, yeah.
And he was the only fighter to ever do that. I think he came up from cruiserweight too.
And he is the man that
And,
beat
I
the
mean,
man
he's the
now.
man that beat
I mean,
the man, yeah.
he's also the is he not the what's
Is he the lineal champion?
Is he
Yeah,
not the
he's
lineal?
champion?
So he's the
His
lineal
classmate to beat
champion.
Tyson Fury, yeah.
So for those of y'all that don't know, the lineal heavyweight championship is a non-physical championship that boxers can hold basically once they beat the person that's collected all the belts. So
basically, like Thanos got all the
Yeah.
Infinity Gauntlet rings and stones and gems.
basically,
To go beat that guy,
yeah.
you are that guy, so to speak.
You are fucking Timothy Williams. So
Him, Duncan.
I hate to say it, man, but I guess Usyk is now Thanos.
Gauntlet. You got the gauntlet.
Usyk is now Thanos, and Usyk is giving us all the middle finger now because I don't think none of us thought Usyk would be able to
I did not think he was going to be able to beat Tyson Fury.
I did, and here's what I don't understand. God
I
damn
thought he
it,
was going to be able to hold his own. But
Tyson Fury, you are motherfucking 7 feet tall, bro. To let this little fucking
Yeah, 7 feet 300.
to let this little fucking porn stash bastard. This motherfucker is average size. He's like 6'3", and just put a pounding on your ass like that. You know, But here's the thing. That's what happens, bro. That's why I encourage motherfuckers, bro. Like Dana White says, yo, when you start thinking retirement, do it. Because
Do it.
everybody that
Once
sticks
that
around
thought
plucks their
enters your
legacy.
mind, yeah.
They always lose it, bro. All right, so moving past that, we got. I want to talk about what do you think the likelihood now that John Jones is pretty much determined he is the greatest fighter to have ever lived. Do you feel like he has to fight Tom Aspinall to seal his legacy? But before you answer, I say yes, you have to. Nothing means nothing. None of your shit means nothing if you don't give the young, hungry lion the opportunity to put the old lion down. If you beat that young lion, you walk into the sunset, and I think you're the greatest that ever fucking lived. But if you end your career beating somebody that's 44 years old, who hasn't fought in like 4 years, I'm not saying it's shameful. You've earned the right to do whatever you want, but man, if you beat Tom Aspinall, it really signs the fucking and dots the T's and cross eyes. This is the baddest motherfucker there is.
And the thing is, I think he'll beat Tom.
What do you
I
think the
think
likelihood?
I would like to see him fight Alex. I feel like I know people think Tom is the better or the bigger threat. To me, though, there's something about Alex, man. I did not want to give that dude his props when he came in and he fought. I didn't. But since he's a monster, bro.
Alex
Like,
is closer
he's
to
a
his
different-
age too.
They're the same age, but he's a kickboxer, and everybody thinks John's going to come out there and just wrestle him and take him down. But John's always been one of them prideful, I'm going to beat you at your own game fighters. And
I feel like it's
think
two boogeymen.
the reason
versus each other
I
if
don't
you
want
put
to
it
see him
together.
fight Tom, like I'd like to see him fight Tom, but let's be real, I know John Jones. John Jones destroys knees. John Jones has an oblique kick that will destroy your knee. Tom has already had multiple surgeries on his knee from the Curtis Blaze fight when he tore his MCL and ACL.
I
I think
remember
John
that.
Jones is not going to target that knee right out the gate. You can't punch him if you can't stand up.
Yeah, that's true. But I think
John's like a literal
I
killer.
think
and he doesn't. He's
Tom-
crazy. He beats up pregnant women. He don't care about Tom Aspinall.
I feel like Tom though has the best chance to beat John Jones out of anybody he's ever faced because
I can see that, but you got to be able to catch John.
you gotta be able to
You
catch
got to
him.
be able to catch him.
You
And I
gotta
just
be able
don't.
to catch him.
To me, I feel the bigger
I
threat.
wanna
Now, as
see
crazy
more.
as it sounds, I feel Francis will be bigger threat. I feel
Really?
like Francis.
But
will
we're
probably
never gonna see
slug
that.
it. Yeah.
We're never gonna see that one. I feel like I would have loved to see, Aspinall and Jones.
But he said he's gonna fight him.
That's what they're saying.
Dana said it's
He
gonna
said,
happen.
but Jones said it is going to take literally. He said
He
it would
said he
have to
wants
be
like
on
30
some
mil.
Scrooge
Yeah, I
McDuck
think like
pulling up to
34
his
mil.
house with fucking dump trucks full of money. And I think Dana will give it to him
He
because
deserves
he deserves it, and
it.
everybody
It'll
wants
sell.
to see it.
It'll sell. If you
And he's
think-
been staying out of trouble a little bit now.
yeah,
you
he's
know.
been chilling.
Go and give him what he wants. You know what I mean? All right, now, I think the only thing else I want to touch in on, there's not much really going on right now. I think you got Marab, I think he's about to fight. You got a lot of this.
Islam about to fight Sarukian. Sarukian said he took him down when they was in amateur wrestling in Dagestan. He said he took him down. He's like, I took him down when I was 21 years old.
I think Islam probably gonna have another couple fights, of dominance, and then I think he'll probably retire. Yeah. I'm not saying like I think Islam is just like a phenom or nothing. He can be beaten, bro. I just don't see a lot of people.
Boy, God, I wanted Dustin Poirier to beat that for
Bro.
man. I was pulling for
I felt like there
so
was
bad.
moments. I felt like Dustin had his moments.
Man. He did. Oh.
I hate.
I was like, he's about to win. He said he was going to win the belt and then retire that night. If he had won the belt, he said he was going to retire.
I would have loved. I feel like Dustin deserved a legitimate championship once in his
He
career.
did, man. He does.
But you can't say that he didn't have the opportunity. I mean, Dana White gave him the opportunity 3 or 4 times on a silver platter.
Somebody about to fight Nancy again. It'll be a bit.
All right, so that wraps up Raw MMA this week. And now we are going to move right into
Proper grammar.
the proper grammar of the week. Now, this week we're going to do Poppin' My Collar by 3-6 Mafia.
I will give you the original song lyrics.
All right. Amelia will give us the original lyrics, and then I will tell you what I came up with for the proper grammar. Grammar how it should be, to where basically you'd be able to tell your old white grandpapa, hey, Pawpaw,
This is what the folks.
this is what they're trying to say, Pawpaw. So what do we got? Popping my collar.
So, popping my collar. The chorus is, now ever since I can remember, I've been popping my collar, popping my collar, popping my collar. Now ever since I can remember, I've been popping my collar. Okay. I know you sicker than sick.
Oh, hold on. That's not the verse I did. Do the one where it says now, the other one, the other second.
Now, when it comes to
Yeah.
getting bread, I got the keys to the bakery. A lot of dudes swear they play. Man, they some fakery. Sorry. Let me catch a girl up out some work in my sight and believe I'm gonna be at you in the daylight with a flashlight. I'm trying to get paid however money is made. A lot of dudes like to play ladies to get laid. But me, I ain't no pimp. I just love to borrow paper from a fat bitch, a ugly bitch, and a mother for real.
Hey man, shout out to DJ Paul, whoever the fuck that was with that verse that made no fucking sense at all. But so
Dave Chappelle said, "What?
all right.
That's terrible."
Amelia, would you like proper grammar for what he was really trying to
I
say?
would love if you could please give me proper grammar on this song.
All right, this is what he was trying to say. Now, when it comes to financial development, I generate funds in bulk. In comparison, my ambitious financial movements is on par with a baker that has complete control and dominance of his bakery. A lot of entrepreneurs give the facade that they are top players in the financial market. The lie detector test, however, determined that was falsified. I control all aspects of any financial market I choose to participate in. And if I discover anyone, especially a woman, attempting to skim off the top of my enterprise, it is more than likely I will quickly catch up with her, whether it's day or night, and punish her severely. I value my currency above all other things in life. I understand that a lot of men choose to splurge their earnings on low-level prostitutes. I, however, do not. I continue to focus.
I do not.
I continue to focus on becoming more financially dominant. I value money to the point that while I am already secure, I still whisper sweet nothings and promises into many a lady's ear and drain them of their assets as well. I am truly heartless. And I wrote that one on fly too. Like I was under pressure right now one. I think that could have been better, but ladies and gentlemen, the proper grammar.
That was great. That was fucking great.
That's
I
fine.
like that. And now for the highlights of the show, we are going to get into our legendary interview, which is given by Raw Truth with our talented battle rapper and music artist, Pac Manson.
Let's go. Dun, 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 dun. The icon is in the building, man. How you doing, Joker?
I got some women.
Good, man.
I'm fantastic. I might be in jail. Yeah.
The mic and look, that's I think where we're gonna
But
start.
God got me. How you doing?
Yeah, we're gonna start right there. First and foremost, bro, I just want to look at you in your eyes, bro, and tell you I'm very grateful for all your contributions out here, bro. I have definitely watched you and have made moves with you. Like I said, I tell everybody that sits on this couch with me, bro, like you're not gonna be just a local artist and get on this couch. Like you have to have proven to have been legendary in one way or the other. And I've seen you do so much legendary shit from battle rap to the features that you've been able to obtain. And even just on a lot of just different player making moves type of shit. So definitely want to give you your flowers on the show. So welcome to the Raw True Show. And yeah, let's start there, man. Wednesday we might be going to jail. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, I'm on probation. I got my probation revoked. So I'm dealing with, I was in Denver, man. Apparently somebody called and said me and my girl was having a domestic. He wasn't, I don't know, like they just like to harass me out there. And I was parked at a gas station, literally parked, minding my business. My girl Summer was walking inside to buy a water. And the law pulled in the parking lot, no lights, no sirens. Got out of his car and started like looking like he was walking towards my car. I got PTSD documented because of their harassment. And straight up, I am a medical patient in the CURT program. I smoke because of it. I got a judge's signature because of it. And so I told her, man, I'm not dealing with their harassment today. You can cooperate with them, answer their questions. I'm going home. And I started to drive off. He tried to like wave at me. Hey, I said, man, I'm not being detained. I'm leaving. And he did not get his phone light me up. I stopped at the intersection. I stopped at the stop sign. I stopped at the red light. And then 6 weeks later, they arrested me talking about evading arrest for detention with a motor vehicle. It wasn't evading arrest because you know, right? So now it's like evading detention. The problem is I just had my probation reinstated last year. Somebody tried to falsify me and say I was waiving a gun somewhere I've never owned a gun in my life. So the court saw that was not true, reinstated my stuff, but now they're like, hey, they just reinstated you. They don't really want to work with you again. So now they offer me 3 to 4 years trying to get me to sign for driving away from this law.
And what was your last physical offer? It was 4?
It was 4.
Okay, so
And
we're
I'm
at
supposed
4
to
right
go to court Wednesday, but I mean, I can get it reset. I just emailed my lawyer today and asking him what's going on. So I'm not signing for anything over 3. You come with me with 3 or less, I'll sign. If you don't want to offer me a statement, you know, and I'll take my shit on the chin, man. Yeah, I did drive away, and I really know I was legally within my rights to do it. The problem is I also know how the unjustice system works. And if I go in there in front of that judge, who is a ex-federal judge and now a multiple time re-elected Republican judge in the state of Texas, my lawyer told me straight up, hey, man, that cop's going to get up there in the stand and swear to whatever he wrote in his statement, whether it's true or not. That's what he's going to testify to, and more often than not, the judges are going to lean inside on the law. He's like, so, you know, yeah, you might have been legally within your parameter and rights to drive away, but we also just reinstated your probation, and he could give you 2 to 20 convictions. And your original charge carries that.
So it's basically.
So it's like, do you want to take a
the
deal,
trial.
or do you want to go in there and let this judge decide your fate? Because it is no jury. It's the judge, is the jury, and executioner.
I've always
It carries whatever the original charge was. The original charge would carry a 2 to 20. So if found guilty of this evading, he gets to sentence me to it.
I've always been a plea
Or they
bargainer.
can reinstate you.
Me personally, I've always been a plea bargainer.
I'm the same way. Like if you come with a good deal,
Come with the right.
and I
deal.
know I know I did it. That's my thing. I know I was but it is what it is. You know, whatever happens is gonna happen. God got me.
But it's risky, you know, when you take things, you know, it's like the boy that cried wolf. You know, you could have been guilty 100 times, and now that you're kind of
that's what
not
I'm
really
That's
guilty.
one reason that I'm like, I know there's probably some other stuff they could have hit me up for. that they didn't. And so I gotta sit down and take them on the chin potentially. And I mean, like, I'll do like, if it's 3 years, it's like 9 months of brawl.
Right.
And then another 10 years.
And they're packed down there in TDC right now.
They're
So
letting people out. The thing is, I'm older now. And, you know, when I was in my first bid, I was in my early 20s. And so those are the people that they tend to keep in there. They're young. But when you get to my age, you in your mid 40s and stuff, you're in there acting like a knucklehead and stuff. Children, you got family, whatever. More often than not, you know, I can see you in the role. They're not going to kill you just in case.
well, let's hope we don't need that shit. Let's hope, you know, God is great. So we're gonna speak that shit into existence on the Raw Truth Show. We don't do
y'all next weekend.
yeah, we too old to be in there gladiating anymore.
Yeah, I can't be in there beating up them folks.
Now, jumping right in, brother, I want to ask you a couple. So we're gonna jump all over the place, but just jumping right in. Heath Ledger, and all the people that have ever played the Joker role, they say it brings out a darkness within them. And a lot of these people that have played these roles have died within a few years after doing it. You know, I've been watching you with this persona for 12, 13 years now.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like you're the real Joker.
I am the real Joker.
And so my question to you is how did this, why the alter ego? How did that develop? And how are you able to maintain that, you know, and balance that with real life? Because this isn't a gig.
So the embodiment, man, I come from a rock background. I was in rock music and stuff, and I was early on in my career, like we're leading pro, you know, the Manson stuff. So like the face paint stuff was just kind of a natural to me. I was always that type of person where I was eccentric. I wore like black eyeliner and stuff in high school, and I didn't care what people thought. Like if the jocks or the preppy kids were trying to pick on me, I'd just be like, man, you want me to do? You got beat up by the kid, but you don't want that. Right? You don't want that. And they never gonna let you do it either.
Right.
So I was always confident like that. I just didn't care. I felt like I was born to be an entertainer. And people would always tell me like, you need to be a comedian or a musician or whatever, like older people, because they said that they could see like other types of entertainers within me. Like you remind me of this person, and you remind me of this individual. So when I started getting into the music, I mean, I always liked Batman. When I was a kid, played Batman, like, the animated series and stuff was real big. I liked Harley Quinn and Joker. I just
got
felt like,
done rewatching that too. That's
yeah,
a good
man, bro,
series.
it's crazy. Like
Great
Joker
series.
kills Harley Quinn because she don't laugh at one of his jokes. So it's off the clock
Fucking
tower.
trying to nuke him,
Yeah,
trying to hit
bro,
him with a
it's
nuclear
crazy.
bomb.
Yeah. But like I always related to the Joker because I felt he was a bit eccentric and a bit wild and chaotic, but there was methods and there was actual intelligence to what he was doing. Like he wasn't just some crazy man acting wild. Like when you start to listen to some of his ideologies or theses, you're like really serious. You know, there's some sense to what he's saying. It's almost a controlled chaos. And I felt like to me that's what the music industry is. You have to be able to control the chaos. Like the entire music industry is chaos. We see it right now. Hollywood, the entertainment industry is literally the devil's playground. And you have to somehow fit into that and embody something that will get you liked and recognized. They didn't like Pat Manson. They hated Pat Manson. I was just Pat Manson and I didn't wear this mask and I just rapped and I knew I was good. They hated that. It's like they hated my belief in myself. But when I put this mask on and I started embodying something else, they're like,
Let me ask you about that. Why do you feel like that is? Because I've seen that. You're a dope ass MC. You know how to control a fucking crowd. I just got a chance to go see you and the Manson family live the other night. And I mean, I was impressed. I never understood it myself. I always thought you were great at what you do. Why do you feel like you get the hate so much compared to somebody like me? You know, where it's not really, it's there, but it's like
but
hidden.
yeah, it's not outspoken. Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with I was so confident in myself that I would just speak highly of myself and my circle of peers at all times. I felt like that's all I knew how to do. And I think a lot of people feel like maybe you're projecting or trying to brag or throw things in their face. And so it maybe turned it against me. But my thing was I always wanted people to see, like, I literally came up with this concept while I was in a freaking 7x9 cell at women's unit. And to be able to accomplish what I've been able to accomplish I do want people to know about that. I'm not necessarily braggadocious about it. I just want you to be aware of if I can do it from this place, anybody can do it. You just have to have a belief in yourself and you have to be willing to invest in yourself. Nobody's gonna take you seriously. The difference is if you can do other.
And I feel like you have the total right to rub it in these niggas' faces, bro. Period. I remember, I'm gonna call it how it is. I remember Live from the Block was, I used to go watch these battles from time to time. I go watch King Coleon battle, or go see Skits battle. Both of them, my boys, they both go hard. And I would primarily go to see you battle because your battles was something, your shit was something else, bro. I used to love it. When you say entertainment, there is, in my opinion, not a better entertaining battle rapper than you. I made more of your battle raps than anybody else, and I'm not a dude that come out often.
Like I knew when I was doing these battles. Hey, first and foremost, I am still to this day the only person who got in the ring with all the homies.
Right.
Like everybody was scared to battle their homie. No, that's the camp. That's the homie. He know too much information about me. This is, man, I didn't care. Okay, I know what y'all gonna say about me. I know what y'all gonna try to put on me. I'm not scared of that.
I wanna jump in right there real quick,
Yeah, right.
and because this is now we're going into where I want to go to. So I know your history, but for those of y'all that might not have seen Pac has had some really epic battles. You got to remember, Live from the Block, when this thing was popping back in the day, pretty much you had Pac. I felt like was one of the first pioneers. I feel like King Coleon was probably running the circuit. Like that was Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
And then you had people, you had your fucking, your dudes like fucking Big Skull, sorry ass. And you had some other motherfuckers, man, but nobody was really doing it. I feel like once Skits came in, that was the next generation. You and Coleon being the first generation.
Okay, so I always got to give props to G's because G's is the one that like recruited me. All the other BS aside, with him and Jeff, at that time everything was gravy. And then to me, the top of the feed chain. They were the ones that
you hate to see that shit too.
That was
two people that was like brothers,
Yeah, I mean sometimes it happens, man. Like maybe one day it won't be like that. I like. And at the time, shout out to my brother Mad Chat, man. Rest in peace, Mad Chat. Mad Chat was one of the faces that
Mad Chat was
pushed.
a dude.
He pushed for change within the battle rap community because he saw the type of hatred that I would get.
He was good
battles.
too.
He
was another slept on dude. He was real good.
He helped mold my game, and he would push it, and then like. He was responsible for helping find Fellow and bring Fellow into the league.
Fellow is crazy.
Fellow is a crazy,
that's one crazy white boy,
crazy ass battling. So I felt like all that at the beginning was ushered in. I always my thing was people didn't understand how much legwork I did behind the scenes. Like they didn't know I was the one helping find events. That I was the one getting venues. Cliff had all the access to the venues, so we were the ones who were to get the venues, but. And then allowing the events to come through.
I remember when you brought the battle rapper, one of my close homies now, thanks to you, Disaster into the fold.
Man, I'd only been battle. Look, I always like telling this story because me and Osama was at like stiff odds at that time, right? I'd only been a battle rapper for a year at that point in time. I'd already made buzz doing the videos with Tom Tom and Flip and on the music scene, and I was starting to
because we don't care.
Starting to ascend. To the top of the battle rap community and world, people were talking about like, hey, you got to see this guy's battles whoop whoop. And one of the big things they wanted to do is they were really trying to bring Math Hopper. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Math is dope. But I was like, to me, I think when it's all said and done, Disaster will have a bigger impact in the overall hierarchy of battle rap and for the culture. And
Disaster was that nigga at that time.
Yes, and he was the King of the Dot champion. What he's done. He was on Total Slaughter at that time. And so I convinced him to just, hey man, let me reach out to him and see what's up. Nobody could get in touch with him. And lo and behold, he responded to me. And we made history.
And I want to make this clear too, because I've had this, shouts out to my dog Disaster.
Man,
I've had this conversation with Disaster. And like I said, it's a little bit personal for me because I don't like seeing dope MCs get hated on and just, lies being told about them. I talked to Disaster personally. Disaster didn't come out here for Osama or for anybody else. He came out here for Pat Manson. That's something that he told me directly. He said he liked how Pat approached him. He said, they did their good business and all that, but he really liked Pat's personality, and he wanted to see what the environment was like down in Texas. So I feel like Pat bringing Diz down here blessed a lot of people's game. Jay Cruz was able to put Disaster on 97.9 for a freestyle. There was a couple people. D Rich benefited from this because D Rich was able to get a music video out of it. A lot of people benefited. Hell, I benefited from it. I think I was one of the only people that was in the studio. I think I was fucking crashed out in the studio at Redline. And I think I was the only one that wasn't dick riding Disaster. And that intrigued him for some reason.
He was fucking with you tough. He was
we got cool quick.
Cool motherfucker, man. Let me get his zip. And I was like, yeah, that's good dog, man. I know this.
And we fucked around, even to this day.
And then after, I ended up going to South by Southwest with him. I was rolling around with him and the homies down there. So people was like, how's this fool down to South by Southwest with Diz? And I was like, he told me he's gonna be in Texas. He hit me up. He called me.
What do you say to people that tell you, oh, Pax dick riding Diz? What do you say to people like that?
I just say you mad because you ain't got a dick to ride.
You mad because you wasn't able to do it.
You can't do it. Y'all hating on me. It's not dick riding. You're showing respect. Showing respect for somebody who paved the way for a culture that I wanted to be involved in.
And I play the Joker's advocate here, man. Listen, y'all mad because y'all couldn't do it. If you could do it, you would have did it.
You would have.
Now, I bet you if Pac makes a call to Diz, he can get him down here quicker than you will be able to. I know that for a fact. So I don't like that. And I've told you this your whole career.
Yeah.
I feel like your biggest downfall is you've looked out for too many motherfuckers.
That's my thing.
That never looked out for you.
They always thought it was a joke when I got on with Mike Will and Zaytoven. They're like, this is fake. And I'm like, well, these messages in my inbox aren't fake. These emails aren't fake. These features I pay for aren't fake. I'm uploading them on streaming sites with no copyright infringement claims or anything. Like, that's not fake. Y'all just are mad because y'all believe it's unbelievable to y'all.
Well, I'm sure they thought that it was fake when, I'm going to do a feature with Little Flip.
Yeah, it was always like...
And then I see the music video where Flip's in there with you, arm around you. And back then, especially back then, Flip was that nigga. Yeah, Flip was that nigga, and I feel like you were the very first person also that I ever saw, how much time we got? See? I ain't more than that. It's right down the street. You'll be here in 10 minutes. I need 30 minutes. Chama. So 15, 20, 25. 25 minutes. We'll wrap up at 45. I'll go as fast as I can. So, but I do want to jump back in on that, right? You're the first person I ever remember seeing in North Texas get a Little Flip feature. Tell me about, I want to hear about your features. Give me a rundown of all the features that you've had from mainstream artists.
Ooh, boy, it's a lot. Y'all see my new feature with Eminem?
How did that?
Y'all got the paperwork to that. Actually, let me tell y'all how that came about. Actually, the man sitting to my right, Raw Truth, blessed me with that feature. Shout out to Justin Newman. Justin Newman, White Boy Productions, Sydney, Australia, down there in Sydney, man.
Powerful dude.
Because we is prestigious worldwide. We don't just, like you said, we
you don't know who Justin Newman is. You look him up.
That's the interview Tech Nine.
That's one of the biggest.
Tech 9 interview coming up.
That's somebody that's one of the biggest A&Rs in the world right now.
Y'all don't even know. But Jonathan introduced me to him. He reached out to me and got the paperwork and exclusive rights to it. It's an old Eminem verse. I'm not going to act like it's some brand new shit, but you do have the exclusive rights and paperwork, which is why I was allowed to upload it with no issues. You can't just go type. You can't put a song online and say featuring Eminem. He's the most flagged hip hop artist of all time. Like, they will literally hit you with copyright.
They're going to take it down.
So
legit. They're going to take it down.
He got that. He got me with that, gave me the paperwork and blessed my game because of that. I've been fortunate enough to work with your guy Cameron.
Shout out to Cameron, man.
You and I have been able to work side by side with Eminem's homeboy Swifty McVay. You know, me and John got the Swifty McVay feature on my Why So Serious album. I've worked with Bizarre, I've worked with Conniver, I've worked with Young Buck. I worked with Flip, Chum Chum, Young Thug, Scarface. Like you name it, I've probably worked in. Man, I've been blessed to be able to work. But the thing is, I'm not gonna act like I was just blessed. I paid. I paid for my features. Like I've invested in myself. Now I might not have paid what y'all think I paid. Um, but that was the key to my success. When I had these opportunities and I was able to get in front of these producers and able to communicate with them and see these features or work with these artists, I just asked them straight up, hey man, let's talk business. How much is it going to cost me to get you on the track? And I was always blessed because of that. Flip was another example of that. When I was
So investments as an artist.
because
is
I
something
always
that's
tell
mandatory.
people it's got to be some type of whatever religious affiliation to the side. You know, whatever you believe in. Whatever your higher power is, your higher power. There has got to be some divine intervention in my rap career. I always tell people this story. In 2004, I was locked up at the clinic. Okay, and I had just started writing raps and like I probably wrote like my first rap in like 1999, 2000, but it was also like whiskey proven part felt vibes, not necessarily like some Ian type vibes. And then I became a big fan of Ian, and I was like, man, I wonder if he's good. I wonder if I could get Ian guy. So around this time, I was writing and being locked up down there. We were outside of Houston. We were like 9 miles north of Galveston, down in Missouri County, and there were some younger guys in there, probably in their mid-20s from like third ward, and they would hear me rap and go, "Pat, you dope, man. We need to get out and work with Lil Flip." Bro, I had no idea who Lil Flip was. Never heard of him. Didn't know who he was. Just, I guess he hadn't come across my radar yet. And so while I'm down there, I see, you used to watch Flavor TV on Saturday nights.
Oh
And,
God, boy.
and Skip Cheatham.
In the pen, baby.
Skip
Hey.
Cheatham hosting on Saturday nights. We watching Flavor
Cheaters
TV.
right after, huh? Yeah.
And lo and behold, Lil Flip's game over again. I'm like, Pat, you gotta be out and work with this dude. I'm telling you, he'll think he's dope.
Legendary video.
And I was like, man, this guy's a
A lot of people don't realize, bro.
I thought I was
Flip,
tripping.
in my opinion, before Flip, now when you want to talk about worldwide, right? You can give Scarface a little credit for doing Smile with Tupac.
Yes.
You can give UGK the credit for doing Big Pimpin'.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about a motherfucker that
We've got
just
like
dropped
2 or
it,
3
no,
flags.
look. When you talking about in 2004, before Tipping on Fofos came
Yeah.
out, Lil Flip was
He was that dude.
the first
He was
person,
like
bro.
the highest
What-
selling stars of all time at that time.
And I feel like without Lil Flip dropping Game Over, that was the very first song. I actually fact checked this. He was the very first person that set that bomb off to start Texas on that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Game Over came, and then after
And then
Game
it was
Over,
like,
no.
Slim
It was Game Over first, and I was locked up. I was in prison, so I remember this clearly.
They was breaking it on the radio.
Yeah, so it was Flip's Game Over came first. After that, Chameleonaires, I'm gonna show you how to get your
Yeah,
shine
I'm
on.
gonna show you, man.
With Lil
Yeah,
Flip
with
on
Lil
it
Flip,
came.
Yeah.
Then Tipping on Fofos came.
Yeah.
Then Paul Wall sitting side, and
Sitting
then
sideways,
everything else.
yeah.
So
Snoop
Lil
Dogg
Flip
and all
was
that.
really
He
the
really
one that
ushered in-
started it all.
And what's crazy is, so when they would tell me to get out and work with them, okay, I got out of jail 4 years later, 2008. First, I'm telling you, I can't make this up. He was at Redline Studios, Paradox, in White Settlement, Texas. D. Rich calls me. He's like, hey, I need you to come to the studio. I'm trying to do a track with you. At this time, I've just been
Shouts out to
recording.
D. Rich.
Shout out to my boy Rich.
Shouts out to my
man.
nigga D. Rich.
I have been just recording locally. And I walk in the studio and lo and behold, Lil Flip's in. And I was like, man, this is really basic. So I spit a 16 for him. Rich was like, man, spit something for me. And he wanted a feature. He's like, bro, you dope. I'll give you. And he got out his iPhone, started typing up a verse, asked if he can mix and record. Like, Paradox and say to this day, he was like, bro, he looked at me, his Flip goes, I learned how to mix from DJ Screw. Do you mind if I engineer the session? And we was just like,
I heard Flip's famous for
Bro,
that. He
he's
wants
good.
to control
he,
his
and
own
he
shit.
did, but he mixed that shit down fire.
Mhm.
And me and Paradox was like, bro, if Lil Flip wants to mix it, let him mix it. But I tell people it had to be some type of divine intervention. What are the odds that I go to jail, I start rapping, these people tell me to get out working with Flip, think you're dope, and then he's literally the first famous person I knew.
Mhm.
And he thought I was dope and did a music video on it. Man, you couldn't be that scripted, right?
So jumping out of that, this is a question I always wanted to ask you personally that I never got to ask you. I don't know how I never did, but I want to know what was your most difficult and hardest, as far as pressure goes, battle. One that you might have just like, man, I don't want to do this, or I'm nervous to do this, or I'm just, man, fuck, bro. If this shit,
None of them.
none of them.
None of them. Not Corleone. Not G's. Chad thought I was crazy because I kept talking shit to Jeff the whole time. And I was like, you're a bitch. You ain't gonna do shit in the ring. You let fat girls eat your ass. I'm not trying to hear that.
Mhm.
I was just talking crazy shit, and Jeff, he was like, why are you fucking with Corleone so bad like this? And I was like, because I want the best version of him ever. Anytime I get in the ring, I know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I don't care what.
That's and honestly,
I want the best version of you ever.
I feel like
Win, lose, or draw. Because to me, I never felt there was pressure. It was just like, I knew. I took it like a job. Like, it was a 9 to 5 for me. So I rehearsed 100 times. I'm in the mirror going over my shit 4 or 5 times a day. I'm looking at body movements. I'm practicing. I'm calling my friends and spitting my shit. So I never felt like I had that pressure. I think the biggest pressure battles were supposed to be G's and Corleone. But if you go back and look at how I held my own in those battles and what I was able to
felt
accomplish.
natural, yeah.
If it's just like, I was,
no pressure.
yeah, it was like no pressure because they're my friends and I knew, but that was what I wanted. I always wanted, I
So
wanted
how
the
did-
fans to be entertained. And I knew if I got them at their best, if you got me at my best, y'all are gonna be entertained.
So let me ask you this: how do you deal with, like I said, I feel like personally, out of all the battles, either your battle with Coleon or Coleon's battle with Skits are probably those are my 2 favorite battles ever
Man, those-
because there's so much history between
Yeah.
both of them. But
the emotion was real. You can literally
Yeah.
see the real, like we was acting or whatever, something, but like you could see the real anger come in at certain points. We was really liking each other, and you knew we were talking
And that's-
truth about each other.
And that's my
Yeah.
question is how does that make you feel when you gotta sit there and dig up dirt on your friends and you know that they're digging dirt up on you? You know that you might not be giving everything that's like 100% facts. It could be rumors and that they may be doing the same thing. And
Yeah.
this is coming from people you care about. So how do you deal with that kind of pressure? Or how do you move forward with them after these battles are over?
To me, I always felt like like we're in the Coliseum in this gladiator. Like you got to kill the person you're against. Like, and to me, so I knew that needs to be my mentality, and that needs to be their mentality. You need to say the most ill.
So there's
whether it's
nobody
true or
off
not.
limits for you.
Nah,
You're all
man.
in.
Yeah, hell yeah. And I'll say anything too. I don't give a damn. You gonna swing on me. I'm not telling boy. I dig up your dead grandma and run a train. I don't care.
Not the dead grandma and train. God
Things
damn.
like that. I'll smoke her ashes. I don't care.
No, and I
But
told
like,
you,
but it was to me. I told my friends, look, it's just words. We're supposed to say crazy. Like if we were in Rome, they want us to fight to the death. So we're supposed to essentially fight to the death with our words, say the most foul, disgusting, whatever, tie it together cleverly with a little bow. And then afterwards, we're gonna smoke a blunt. I'm not gonna take this shit personal because I know if you ever really try that shit in real life, you're gonna see a different side of me. And I know the same for you. If I try some crazy shit like this to you in real life as a man, you won't stand your ground and do what you're supposed to do. And we both know that going in, so why would I let my personal feelings get involved? Because you talking about my baby mama, or you talking about my kids, whatever. You're not gonna do nothing. It's words.
now I went to Houston,
I
third ward,
remember.
third ward.
We was
Yeah.
in third ward in the middle of
I
the hood.
I don't. How did that happen? I don't remember if I
Oh.
was. I think I went down there specifically to watch that
You
battle.
went down there to watch me versus Don. They had the whole event. That's when Hero battled West God. But it was West God.
Shout out to my boy Hero, man.
West
Yeah, that's
God
my
booked
dog.
me. He was like, Pac, I want you at this event.
This
I'll
shit
pay
was
you
in a
so
barber
much."
shop in the middle of the most hood, dangerous shit that I've seen in a long time. And Pac was in that bitch bodying some nigga. Oh my God.
He was
Like,
from there too. That was his hood.
yeah,
He's
and you
right there,
bodied
he said,
him.
"I'm
I mean,
bodying
like,
him."
bro, you bodied this nigga and took his fans. I remember that. All his fans, you took all his fans. I mean, that shit was fire.
That was epic.
Let me ask you this.
That was epic. My own real.
Why do we not see you in the battle rap arena anymore? It's been a while. Why?
I mean, my last battle was Al G's. I got paid, I came out, but that battle took way too long to happen. We promoted that battle I called him out for like 3 years, pandemic and all that happened. And then by the time we got to the battle, it just felt still. And the crowd wasn't there. Oh, like, I knew it was going to be weird when I showed up to a live from the block event and Osama wasn't there.
Right.
Right out the gate, I was like, this is weird. This ain't what it is. And really, I feel like the culture in a whole has kind of died off a little bit. You don't see Smack throwing events like that anymore. You don't see King of the Dot throwing events like it's
It's
kind
a
of had,
whole new
it
generation.
had about a 15-year solid run from about 2005 to 2020. It was really, really jumping. It started to die off down there towards the pandemic. Maybe the pandemic had a lot with it because people couldn't collectively gather.
I honestly feel
But-
Total Slaughter had a lot to do with destroying battle rap. And I don't know why I feel like that. I
can
just
see
feel like
And
that was
that's
the
when they
beginning
kind of
of the end.
ushered. That is when they did kind of usher in mainstream artists and industry, like with the Joe Buds and all that. So before that, it felt almost kind of like a cultural underground thing, and that was kind of like the sellout point where it became like a mainstream thing. And now you're doing caffeine, and you're doing all these celebrities are getting involved.
So is there
So it felt like
anybody-
it almost felt like the industry was trying to culture out of each other.
Let me ask you this. Is there anybody on your hit list that you never got to hit pause?
Gosh, shout out to
Is,
Free.
is there anybody on your hit list where you like, man, I would take that battle even today. Like that needs to happen, or it should have, or I wish it would have.
The only two people I really felt like and there were two people from Live from the Block. One of them was Shotwell. Me and Shotwell always was kind of back and forth because it wasn't that me and him had any personal beef. It was more that I'd already battled a lot of box mobs. I'd already battled Sam. I'd already battled Federal. I battled Al G. Shotwell was kind of advocating to them, and I was like, I body you too. And you know, I don't know whatever happened to him, man. I hope he's in good health and stuff. I heard
Shotwell, yeah, I remember him.
and then the other person, probably my biggest antagonist, who went on to do great things, is Trevo. I felt like Trevo always ducked the Live from the Block bets. Not necessarily ducked them, but he didn't get in there with a me. He didn't get in there with the G's. He didn't get in there with a Corleone or a Skips. He navigated his path correctly, and then he started the Culture League with Gutter and was able to do stuff with like Chilla Jones, Ballard Malborn. He got into the King of the Dot platform.
That's kind of what
So-
I feel with
But, like,
with
I always wanted
I
to-
feel like I feel like he took the safe path.
I always wanted to be like one of the, and it was because we were antagonists of each other only in the battle rap world. Every time I saw him in person, it was always cool. It was always cordial. But when it came to, I think I'm a better rapper than you, and a better showman, that was one of the battles I wanted because I wanted to give y'all that knowledge and type of knowledge.
All right, cool. So now as we're wrapping up, man, hell, I just realized my goddamn battery on my watch died, so I'm sitting here thinking it's a time that it's not. Paul Rich, by the way, courtesy of my
Paul.
wife. Yeah. That's the
it.
Stardust exclusive right
That
there.
top of the line right
That's
there.
it.
I don't know about that.
That's that shit you ain't got. You know what I'm saying? And so here's the thing, man. The last question that I have for you is, would you have done like locally? You're a legend, bro. Nobody can fucking deny that, bro. You're an icon out here, bro, and especially for Fort Worth, bro. So asking you this, man, what is there still left to do, if anything?
Make art. I make art for me and for those people who are fans of me, and a lot of it is because that's my mental health outlet. That's how I deal with. I have mental health issues. I've never shied away from it. And one of the ways I deal with it is I creatively express through music my personal life stories, my journeys. I've never shied away from the negatives. I always try to talk about it through my music and tackle it head on because I feel the fans deserve that. And it's just a creative way to express or have an outlet without holding it in, going crazy, something dumb and whatever. So, and that, to me, I feel that's why I always do it. I'm still inspired. I see people like Eminem and Dre and Snoop, and these people in their 60s still dropping dope records. And I feel like, people always try to put the stigma that hip hop has an age, but no other music genre has an age. There's no age limit that you got to stop.
Right, Dolly Parton.
So I feel like hip hop's just the youngest of the genres, and that's why people put that stigma on it. But there's really no stigma on it. People like Dre and Snoop, right now. They're breaking that down. They're still dropping incredibly dope records with conscious messages and meanings into their 50s and 60s. So why can't I?
Why can't you?
And I still got a lot to say, man. I got a lot to say. I'm still going through crazy life experiences. So there's always some stuff to talk about out there.
Well, I'm gonna say this: don't fucking give it up. I want to thank you. Like I said, every legend deserves their flowers, bro. And not every legend gonna be as popular as the next one or whatever it may be. I want to say You know, I feel like I'm legendary out here. So from one to another, I want to definitely say, I appreciate all the contributions. I appreciate all the opportunities you helped me out with. And to give you the proper flowers for all the bitch ass niggas that never said thank you. I thank you on their behalf because a lot of them wouldn't be where they are now or had the opportunities they had if you would not have been willing to share the plate and let everybody take a piece of the pie, bro. So thank you, bro. This is, like I said, this is an interview I wanted to have forever. I feel like it's going to be one of our most viewed ones when it's all over and done. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning into the Raw True Show. Thanks for my special guest, the legendary Pat Manson. And we'll see you back next week, same time. Man,
Same
with a
raw
new
time, same raw place.
Know it, man. Appreciate you, man.
What?
Good shit, bro.